Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Thiel, and I am the Director of Education at CETA System. And today, I am your guest. I am going to pull this up live and see who is joining us. Today's show is a little bit different because we have an amazing guest who had to reschedule. Her father is in the active form of passing. And I do want to take a moment to say that she will be back and that we're going to have a moment. There's been a lot of souls right now that are leaving, have left, and there's a lot of souls that are coming in. So I just want to take a moment and say to these souls leaving, who have left, and that are coming in, may you find your peace, may you find your people, and may you find your place. And that brings us to our show today. Our show today is a little spontaneous because I had to whip it up in a tiny little bit, but I'm excited because we're going to talk about where does health come from. And I think this is really important. Where does health come from? Because we don't want to talk about where disease comes from. We want to talk about where health comes from. So I'm going to start, and this is going to be short and sweet, but I've got you guys over here. So if you have questions, let's make this interactive. So we're going to start with the foundation. We have seen a decline in human health since 1989, the biggest decline in human health. Food allergies, chronic illness, cancers, autoimmune conditions. We were about 14% around 1989, and now we are at over 50%. This trajectory is not going to stop unless we focus on where does our health come from. So simply, oh, my sound is off. Oh, gosh. Okay. Just a second. Can you hear me now? Oh, you can hear me? Okay. Someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I'm so sorry. This is the second week in a row. Okay. I should be good to go now. Are we good? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. All right. Are we good now? I am so sorry. These technical difficulties can be a little bit frustrating. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Heather. Mwah, mwah. All right. So where was I? This country is sick. We have gone from chronic illness being 14% to over 50%. And that includes food allergies, autoimmune conditions, chronic illness, cancer. We don't see that trajectory decreasing, we see it increasing. So let's focus on where does health come from. I'm going to talk about several things. All right. Thank you, John. Our health, this is foundational, this is simple, but let's be simple and let's be short and focused about this today. Attention, sunshine, water, the microbiome, the integrity, the diversity in the community within this terrain, and of course, the endocannabinoid system. So let's dig right in. We're going to start with attention first. How can your attention contribute to health? How can your attention make you healthy? Well, first of all, your energy, and we are energy, follows your attention. And your attention is your thoughts, your feelings, your imagination, and your belief systems. And all of these literally turn into neuropeptides. You can find a lot of information about this through Bruce Lipton and Biology of Belief. There's tons of books written about this. And a peptide is a small protein. It's 50 amino acids or less. And a protein is more than 50 amino acids. So these are tiny little chains of amino acids. And our energy, our attention, our thoughts, feelings, and belief systems turn into these neuropeptides. Now, if these neuropeptides come from fear or stress or insomnia or just all the belief systems, any belief systems that's not elevating, expansive, joyful, loving, they can literally over time make you sick. How does this happen? I'm going to use a very simple example. I was watching a 3-hour seminar the other day from Zach Bush, and it was called What Happened Last Year? And he has an amazing slide on anxiety. Now, this was shocking, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's making sense. So, anxiety alone is the acute response to stress. Chronic stress, chronic anxiety. Anxiety leads to 69% of all causes of death. That's right. Anxiety can increase all causes of death by 69%. What's happening right now? From our very young people to our very old people, they're anxious, they're stressed, they're in an unknown. But what can we control? We can still control our attention. We can still control our thoughts. We can still believe that good things are happening. There's good people out there, and that health and healing will prevail. So keep your attention on high. Focus on what keeps you happy. When you are happy, your body can literally regenerate, and your thoughts really do drive your health. So next thing, let me make sure I got all my notes on that. We'll talk a little bit more about stress too when it comes to the endocannabinoid system. Next is sunshine. Now, I think the sunshine part is fascinating because it's a forgotten therapy. Now, the sunshine literally structures our water. And I'm going to talk about water. And I want you to think of water as this body of water that's in us, just like our bones are almost floating in this, and that we're a living matrix of water. And sunshine really supercharges that water. Now, this is important because because sunshine is your primal, powerful life force. It literally resets your circadian rhythms. It communicates with every single cell in your body, and it brings it light, life, and structure to our body. I'm going to read you something. This is from one of my favorite books. It's called Healthy Sun. It's backwards on your screen, but as you can see, and you can always email me for these books and things like that. Endless resources on the benefits of the sun. Our physical bodies permeate with magnetism. Every ion, every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organ pulses with magnetic fusion. Our bodies and the living organisms around us and inside of us are in fact magnetic in nature. Where does this magnetism come from? It comes partly from the sun. There are a lot of practices that say, get out into the morning sun. Let it, when the sun rises within that first hour, let it hit your pineal gland, let it hit the inside of your palms, let it hit your palms. And you can look directly at it or around it, and it really starts to change and feed and give information to your body. I forgot something. I need to do a disclaimer real quick. And the disclaimer is I am not a medical professional, and all of this is just for informational purposes only. Thank you. I forgot about that very important part. Now, one more thing about the sun. I'm going to read you one more thing. The ancients knew the sun had medicinal qualities through careful observation and application. They also knew the sun was needed for maintaining ultimate wellness. Thus, we find many of the great ancient physicians, and there's a whole list of them, use sun therapeutically, even to help cure influenzas. All right, some of the things that sun does is it increases microcirculation. So the microcirculation is very important because we still have to get nutrients to our extremities, and the capillaries get very, very small towards their end. And sometimes it's very hard to get nutrients to these micro capillaries, but it's still very important. So the sun can increase the microcirculation. It's helpful where capillaries and blood vessels weaken with age. So if you can get your shoes off and put some shorts on and get some sun on your body, you might be healthier. Maybe this is one of the places where health comes from. It's just a question. I love to learn about your experiences. Personally, I am a sun person. I do not fear it, but I do not put petroleum products and toxins on my skin and bake them in. In my opinion, we are designed for the sun. We want to be careful. We want to be respectful. We don't want to burn, but without this photosynthesis, maybe we're not giving ourselves that vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important. We're not going to talk about that today. Next, water. So our show today was really supposed to be about water. So I don't want to give away, I can't even talk on the level that Michelle was going to talk about. I want to tell you really important though, we are very much water, and water holds memory. And water is a living matrix, and the water gets into the cells. It communicates with your DNA. And we know that the environment is what helps express the healthy DNA or the unhealthy DNA. And that water is charged with our feelings, with our thoughts, with our emotions. When you get sun on your belly and on your skin, it structures and charges the water. When you do not filter your water, your body needs to filter it. What happens when your body has to filter the water? The kidneys have to work really hard, and it takes away from health, healing. It's something your body doesn't need to do. You can filter your water. And another way to really upgrade your water, this living matrix, maybe this ultimate supplement, because we absolutely need it, is to take a clear glass, a jar or a bottle or something, make sure it's clear, fill it up with your filtered water and put it out into the sun for 1 to 2 hours. The sun will charge and structure that water. It will make it healthier. And you can also add words, and there's books on this too. You can take words like love, health, joy, success, giving, gratitude, and you can put that word underneath your bottle of water in the sun and charge it. Now, they have scientifically proven that vibration changes the structure, each individual water molecule. The healthier your water, the healthier our cells are, the easier it is for us to detox, the easier it is for us to have a living matrix that's charged with good information. You can just as easily have that attention go to negative thoughts and fear and anxiety and be charging your water that way. We don't want that. We want the high vibration, healing, and understanding where does health come from. Maybe health comes from our attention. Maybe some of our health comes from the sun. And maybe some of our health comes from the type of water we drink. Next is the microbiome. The microbiome is absolutely fascinating if you don't know anything about it. And we do have a guest that's coming on 4/20, James Knapp, to talk about how the endocannabinoid system and the microbiome interact, communicate. But for now, yes, Kim, skinny dipping. Anytime you honestly, this is my opinion. Anytime you can get your clothes off and be in a healthy amount of sun, that is skin food. And we are really designed for it. Don't overdo it. Build your tolerance. But maybe this is a type of food that we are depleted in. Back to the microbiome. I just want to briefly say that there is something that is extremely outdated, and that is the germ theory. What is more accurate and has been known for just as long as the germ theory is the terrain theory. Our terrain is literally what's making us healthy, vibrant, regenerative, etc., or healthy. Now, the microbiome is bacteria, fungus, parasites, etc. They're living things. And I'm going to show you a picture. The microbiome does not include viruses. Viruses are dead. Now, this picture shows, you maybe can't see all the white dots, but everything below the dots on that guy's head is your microbiome. We are only 10% cells, and then the rest of what makes us human is this community of bacteria, fungus, and parasites. They've got to be in balance. This is creating our terrain. They've got to be diverse. We can't clear cut a forest and only plant 2 trees. That's not how nature works. And they've got to communicate. This is really what is feeding us. When we eat food, we're not just breaking it down into calories. We are feeding this bacteria. And then this bacteria feeds us. And there's tons of research on, you can take your stool and you can sample it and you can see where there's imbalances. And you can see that this contributes to many, many diseases, or it can, the integrity and health of your microbiome. It's on your skin, it's throughout your respiratory tract, it's inside your gut, it's in your brain. This is everywhere. You can't kill it and be healthy. You cannot kill this living microorganism that's everywhere and think that you're going to be healthy. You have to create the terrain that it thrives in. And so we can talk for hours about the microbiome, but just know that maybe one of the things that makes us healthy is the diversity. We are 90% of this bacteria and this microbiome that's on us, in us. We breathe it. And we're finding that the cell is not at the center of human health, but the integrity of this beautiful, living microbiome, macrobiome, all throughout your gut, really makes us feel and think differently. So let me see what Ellen is saying. Science has since proven that the happier you are, the healthier you will be. Yes, Ellen, and you are a perfect example of that. It takes the same, I learned this a while ago and I'm still practicing it. It can take the same amount of energy to have a good day as it can to have a bad day. What leaves you feeling healthier? Joy, gratitude, appreciation, or being upset and feeling like you just didn't get what you wanted? I mean, any kind of negativity, putting your attention on the news is a big way to probably not be healthy. All right. Where was I? The microbiome. Just think about this, okay? These are just tiny little focus points. So far we have maybe your attention can make you healthy. Maybe your health comes from where you put your attention. We know that anxiety is not making us healthier. The sun, it is literally a superfood for every single cell, circadian rhythms, organs, glands in your skin. Water, if you don't filter it, your body has to. If you don't charge it and revitalize it, it is not as living. And we want living water in the microbiome. Now, most of you know that I am a huge fan about the endocannabinoid system. I love it. And so the last thing today on where does health come from is the endocannabinoid system. If you don't know, the endocannabinoid system is huge. It's everywhere. We have more receptors for cannabinoids, endogenous and from plants like hemp, in our brain than we do for all the neurotransmitters combined. We have a vast amount of receptors in our gut and throughout our immune system and our peripheral organs and throughout our hormones and on our skin. And all the endocannabinoid system is doing is adapting to the stressors. It hears those cries in the night. It hears where the traumas are. It hears where the imbalances are. And it hears where the injuries are. And its job is to bring balance to where the imbalances are, where the stressors are. And all it can do is bring us, you, back to normal. Now, maybe, and this is my theory, most people don't know what normal is. Why? Because of all these things that we just went over. Our attention has been bombarded. Our sunlight's been depleted. We don't go outside. We don't put ourselves in the sun. We don't get the morning sun. We don't drink living water. We don't get hydrated. The brain is 80% water. And then we go around killing 90% of who we are by thinking that germs and viruses and things like that are not healthy. And when in fact, when we bring those into balance and diversity and community, they can actually contribute a lot more to health. And then of course, the endocannabinoid system, when we are out of balance, we are always fighting and putting our attention on how to get back. Energetically, when there is stress, when we feel like we are in survival mode, all of our energy goes towards survival first. That means when the endocannabinoid system is imbalanced, that we are going to always go to repair. Where is that repair needed? Maybe in the gut, maybe in the brain, maybe throughout the nervous system. Maybe there's too much cortisol from the fear and the stress. It's going to go to where it's needed most. It hears, knows, its innate intelligence is to go bring things back into balance so that we can focus and sleep and have less pain and have healthy relationships, and we can digest our food and absorb our nutrients. The endocannabinoid system is also called the harm reduction center. If it's not fed like we feed the immune system with vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc, why would we not feed this system that is even bigger and more vast than the immune system? We are missing the link. We are missing something if we do not feed the system. Now, we do make our own endogenous food for this system, but a lot of times, yes, our body is a living ecosystem. We are a plant, we are an animal, we are energy, we are light. We are a lot of things we also don't know about. So why sacrifice our health when we can do really easy things to improve it? The endocannabinoid system is where we got hemp your health from. When you hemp your health, when you add cannabis and healthy molecules like CBD to your system, this is food for your body to go repair, to balance, to bring your brain and your gut back to focus. Remember that when we are being made in our mommy's tummy, that our brain and our gut split from the same spot in the spinal cord. And they stay connected. They're connected right now. But what happens is all this inflammation kind of degrades and makes this communication less effective. So we're building that communication channel, that brain gut access. Whatever your brain experiences, your gut feels. Whatever your gut is experiencing, your brain experiences. So let's get healthy. Let's think about where health comes from. Let's change the trajectory of what's happening in America. Your body is made to adapt and heal itself, but it can't heal itself when you don't like yourself, when you don't like your neighbor, when you don't like your job. And it's not that everything has to be perfect, but you got to find a way to stress less. You got to find a way to get some sunshine in your eyes when it's just starting to come up above the horizon or on your skin. If you take your shoes off and put your feet on the ground, on the earth for 20 minutes, it can reduce systemic inflammation by 20%. It's called grounding. We get negative ions from the ground. We are part of nature, like Kim was sharing, and we are our own ecosystem, but we can't dehumanize ourselves anymore with everything synthetic. We can't dehumanize ourselves by living in fear and anxiety and not getting sleep. And some authorities would say that lack of sleep, is the true epidemic because we can't heal. And that's another form of stress. And again, the water is very important. The water is the living matrix. It's where we're getting a lot of our information from. You can make it healthier. You can supercharge it, and you can charge it with your thoughts. And of course, the microbiome. Don't go around killing things. Your skin, your insides. Don't fear this diverse microorganism that we are. We're only 10% cells. This bacteria, these fungi, these parasites have a purpose. And their purpose is to keep the terrain in balance. When the terrain is in balance, we can have a germ, we can have a parasite, we can fight off infections. We don't get infections because the terrain is resilient. And it's the germ versus the terrain theory. Look into it and maybe we can talk more about it. And then, of course, the endocannabinoid system, the system that connects us, the system that makes us human, the system that connects the nervous system and the hormones and the immune system, that's on your skin, it's in your brain, it's everywhere. And it finds where the stress is and the injuries and the traumas, and it brings it back to normal. But you've got to feed it. Don't go around with a depleted and deficient endocannabinoid system. Put all these things together, see if it helps you heal, and most importantly, prevent disease. We don't have to get sick to get our health back. We can just be healthy. I think that's it. Yes, you know what? I have a sun lamp even right here somewhere. It's behind my desk, so I can't show it to you. But there are ways to have sun and water. So everyone, if you want more information, resources, etc., email me, Christy, CHRISTY, at CETA System. I love and I believe in health, in healing, in prevention. And I believe that we need to focus on it more now than ever. I was with a bunch of doctors and practitioners and therapists last night, and the doctor that was speaking said that even the children being born right now are being born in an anxious state. They're fearful. They don't feel safe. We've got to change the trajectory of our health, of our kids' health. And we're going to do it simply by just making some easy choices. You can change your attention. You can get some sunshine. You can put your water out. You can have good thoughts. You can take a supplement for your microbiome. You can stop killing it, and you can hemp your health. That's it for now. Big love to Michelle Berry and to all those souls out there. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. I will not be here next week, but I will be back the week after. We will have something for you next week on Hemp Your Health. I am going to be in Cozumel with my shoes off, with my sun exposed with my skin exposed to the sun and hemp. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Big love. Talk to you soon.